Shen Xinyi always said she hated snobby rich people, so I never told her who I really was. But then she landed a deal with a major brand. And the paparazzi caught her making out with some random guy inside a luxury car. And just like that, she went public with the relationship. I sat there scrolling through the headlines, blowing up my phone, along with the breakup text she'd just sent me. I let out a cold laugh and told my secretary, starting today, cut off every bit of support we've been giving Shen Xinyi. Go tell those directors for me. From now on, they don't owe me any favors. Just cast whoever's best for the role. Yes, sir, I'll handle it discreetly. You have my word. Wasn't Shen Xinyi always going on about hating the dirty games of the entertainment industry? Well, I'm literally the one who wrote those rules. I used to shield her from all of that. But now, not worth it anymore. Sir, one more thing. Abel's team just sent over another invitation. They're really pushing for you to come to their launch event. Before I held off because Shen Xinyi was going to be there, and I didn't want her finding out that I was exactly the kind of industry big shot she despised. So I kept turning it down. Because of that, our chairman, my old man, had been blowing up my phone about it. That's when it finally hit me. How much time, money, and energy I'd wasted on Shen Xinyi. Go ahead and reply to Abel's team. Tell them I'll be there. The next day, I just handed my invitation to the security at the door, when a wave of screaming suddenly erupted behind me. I turned around, and there she was. Shen Xinyi, arm in arm with some slicked-up pretty boy, stepping out of a red Ferrari. She worked the crowd like a pro, waving to media and fans, her slender arms wrapped naturally around the guy beside her, all sweet and clingy, yet somehow totally poised. But the second she spotted me, that smile froze right on her face. I didn't even bother acknowledging her. I turned and walked straight into the hotel lobby. I was just looking for my seat, when Shen Xinyi's boyfriend appeared out of nowhere, and slapped a card right into my hand. There's 100 grand. Now get lost. Don't let me see your face again, or I will make you pay for it. Make me pay? What exactly are you gonna do to me? You ever heard of Nanshi Entertainment? I'm about to sign with them. Xinyi told me you're nothing but a lowly script supervisor. I could destroy you with a single phone call. Nanshi Entertainment? I almost burst out laughing. That's literally my company. Since when did I agree to sign this guy? I pulled out my phone and called my secretary right then. In our upcoming signing batch, is there someone named? And then I realized I didn't even know this dude's name, so I looked at him. What's your name? You seriously don't even know who I am? I couldn't be bothered. Just look up Shen Xinyi's boyfriend. Got it. That's Wei Dong. Don't worry, sir. I've already pulled his name from the signing list. And I've already reached out to the other agencies, too. None of them will be signing Wei Dong. Perfect. Got it. I'd barely hung up the phone when Shen Xinyi's irritated voice came from behind me. Nanya, I didn't realize you were this petty. Pulling cheap stunts like this? I hadn't bothered keeping my voice down when I called, so Shen Xinyi had heard every word. Can you stop following me around? If you want money, just call me. I'll give it to you. Shen Xinyi, stop acting like the world revolves around you. I'm here because I was invited. That's it. Nothing more. What do you think this is, a flea market? Anyone can just walk in? You probably bribed security to get in here, didn't you? Wei Dong grabbed a nearby server and said, "Hey, this guy doesn't have an invitation." He snuck in. You gonna do something about it? Sir, everything here is registered by name. That kind of thing doesn't happen. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Enough, Nanya. I don't know how you got in here, but every single seat in this place has a name on it. Once the event starts, there's no seat for you. Even if I don't say anything, the organizers will escort you out. I'm telling you, just leave now. Now, a show this good? No way I'm missing it. With that, Wei Dong turned to the crowd and shouted, "Hey everyone, come look. There's a paparazzi who snuck in over here." Everyone at this kind of event is super sensitive about paparazzi, and the second they heard him, they all started closing in. Suddenly, I was the center of attention. Shen Xinyi's expression turned dark too. But she wasn't worried about me. She was worried I'd spill everything about us and embarrass her. So she played the generous card and told the crowd, "Guys, this is just a super dedicated fan of mine. Please don't give him a hard time. Just let him walk out." Then she turned to me and whispered, "Nanya, just go. This doesn't need to blow up. Nanya, isn't that the name of the CEO of the Nan Group?" Those words hit like a bomb, going off right in the middle of the crowd. Shen Xinyi and Wei Dong both turned and stared at me like they'd seen a ghost. That can't be right. I heard the CEO barely shows his face at events like this. Even the paparazzi don't know what he looks like. There's no way he'd just show up here. All the seats are assigned by invitation. Just check if there's one under the CEO's name. That'll tell us if he's legit or not. The moment that last person spoke, everyone went absolutely wild, tearing through the entire hall looking for the seat. By the time they'd checked every single chair, there was no seat with my name on it. That's when everyone finally relaxed, especially Shen Xinyi. The shock and confusion in her eyes had completely faded. All that was left was cold indifference. See, I told you. There's no way the CEO would show up without bodyguards, especially his personal male secretary. That guy's basically his shadow. No way he'd go anywhere without him. Looks like they were convinced. I wasn't the CEO of the Nan Group. So just like that, I was back to being a nobody they could push around. "Security, get this loser out of here! Quiet!" Just then, a middle-aged man in a sharp suit slowly made his way down from the second floor. The moment everyone got a good look at who was standing on those stairs, the entire room went silent. Every voice just stopped. Only I stood there with a calm smile, completely unfazed by the man in front of me. I'm downstairs when Shen Xinyi rushed over to him. "Uncle Huang, was the noise down here bothering you?" This was no ordinary guy. He was Abel's head of Asia-Pacific operations. In other words, Shen Xinyi's current sugar daddy. "Huang Wen, I'm here to pick up Director Nan. And going forward, drop the Uncle Huang. Just call me Director Huang." Huang Wen walked up to me and gave a deep bow. "I'm sorry, Director Nan, that was poor planning on my part. I should never have let you put up with all that noise." Huang Wen's reaction caught everyone off guard. They all just stood there frozen. After a long moment, Wei Dong finally snapped out of it and stepped forward. Director Huang, are you sure you've got the right guy? He's nobody, just some lowlife. Watch your mouth. You think you're in any position to judge Director Nan? People like you are exactly why the phrase blind fool exists. With that, Huang Wen gestured respectfully and said, Director Nan, your table is upstairs on the second floor. I've got a full spread ready, let's eat and talk. Sure. I stepped forward, walking right past Wei Dong and Shen Xinyi. The secretary finally showed up, fashionably late. Mr. Nan, I've had all of Shen Xinyi and Wei Dong's business activities shut down. All the directors have been taken care of too. Is there anything else you'd like to add? I've always trusted him to get things done. I just flipped through the documents briefly and handed them back. Find out who those people downstairs were. Handle it however you see fit. I put up with way too much down there. It's time to settle the score. The secretary gave a cold nod and said nothing. The moment I stepped upstairs, the whole floor downstairs exploded. Nobody could believe my identity was actually real. Wei Dong was eaten up with regret. He wanted to slap himself silly, but it was already too late. Right at that moment, Shen Xinyi's phone went off. She picked up in a daze and was instantly hit with her agent screaming on the other end. Shen Xinyi, who did you tick off? Several directors we already signed contracts with. They all just backed out. Even the endorsement agency called to cancel. What the hell did you do? Hearing her manager's words, Shen Xinyi finally snapped back to reality. She looked up at the second floor in pure panic. Shen Xinyi, listen to me. I don't care who you ticked off. You go apologize, right now. Figure out a way to get them to forgive you. Otherwise, get ready to be blacklisted. The call cut out. Shen Xinyi was completely stunned. Ever since she met me, her career had been nothing but smooth sailing. Her manager practically treated her like royalty. But now the tide had turned and she completely fell apart. Had no idea what to do. At the same time, Wei Dong's phone and everyone else's in the lobby started blowing up all at once. One by one, they picked up, and every single face went pale. These were probably the most terrifying calls they'd ever received in their lives. The moment Wei Dong lowered his phone, the light in his eyes just died. What replaced it was a hollow, dead inside kind of look. Every film project he'd been so proud of got frozen simultaneously. Even the production crew he was about to join told him not to bother showing up. And the final blow, his deal with the Nan Group had completely fallen through. Just like that, his entertainment career was done. Finished. From this point on, he was out of the industry for good. Meanwhile, Huang Wen and I had already made our way into the VIP room. Sure enough, a full banquet was laid out and waiting. But what caught me off guard was the familiar face already sitting at the table. I froze for a second, then just blurted it out. Weren't you in the Maldives? What are you doing back so soon? Ha, you little punk. If I'd waited any longer, you would have run this whole company into the ground. My dad let out a grunt, then waved me over to sit beside him. Huang Wen and the secretary both quietly stepped aside. They knew better than to get involved in a father-son talk. Nanya, I've heard everything. Letting a woman mess with the company's bottom line. That's not like you at all. And what's even more embarrassing, she dumped you. If this gets out, do you have any idea what that does to our reputation? I know, I'm already working on damage control. Damage control isn't enough, listen to me. I came back specifically to settle your personal life once and for all. So no one can ever use your feelings against you again. Are you serious? I'm the CEO of the Nan Group. And now I'm being set up in an arranged marriage? I knew my dad wouldn't just pick anyone to marry me off to, and she knew I wasn't the type to just go along with things. Right then, a sweet voice came from behind the screen. Nan Yi, big brother. What if it's me? Are you happy with that? The moment I heard that voice, my whole body stiffened. It was Liu Ruowei. If there's anyone I've ever been scared of my whole life, she's absolutely number one. The Liu Group and our Nan Group go way back, and she and I basically grew up together. Except she was wild as a kid, even crazier than me when it came to causing trouble. So eventually Uncle Liu sent her abroad to study. Never thought she'd be back. Sure enough, Liu Ruowei stepped out from behind the screen. The second I saw her, I was completely blown away. My last memory of her was this scrawny, dark-skinned girl with 2 braids, pinning me to the ground and beating me up. But after just a few years apart, she had completely transformed, grown into this stunning, graceful young woman. I couldn't help but stare. Her cheeks flushed red instantly, and she ran over to my dad and said in that sweet little voice of hers, Uncle Nan, Brother Nan Yi doesn't seem to listen to you. He wouldn't dare. My dad slammed the table and looked ready to blow up. Liu Ruowei saw that and immediately started rubbing his shoulders to calm him down, then turned to me and said, Brother Nan Yi, you see that, right? You can't go against Uncle Nan's wishes? Watching these two put on a show in front of me was giving me a real headache. Left with no other choice, I had to play along for now. Abel's launch event was about to kick off. When I walked out of the VIP room with my secretary and Liu Ruowei, the place outside was already packed wall to wall. The second Wei Dong saw me come out, he rushed over and dropped to his knees, reaching out trying to grab my leg, but Secretary Wang stopped him cold with one hand. Mr. Nan, please just give me a way out. I was blind back there. Whatever you want me to do going forward, I'll do it. I glanced down at him and smiled. Bark like a dog, let me hear it. Wei Dong froze, totally caught off guard by that one, and in that split second he hesitated. I'd already walked right past him. When she snapped back to reality, she threw her pride out the window. She dropped to the floor and started barking like a dog, loud enough to blow out everyone's eardrums in the room. Not bad, pretty convincing dog impression. But I've already got enough dogs around me. I smirked, turned and headed downstairs. Wei Dong crumpled to the floor, cameras snapping at him from every direction. This was a product launch, so there were official photographers on site. They just hadn't gotten a chance to shoot the product yet before capturing this insane moment. These shots were worth just as much as any Able product news story. I'd barely made it to the bottom of the stairs when Shen Xinyi cut me off, her eyes red. Clearly, she'd just been crying. Back in the day, seeing her like this would have broken my heart. But now I just felt completely numb, honestly a little annoyed. Nanyi, why are you doing this to me? She dumped me first, and now she's asking me why I'm treating her like this. I couldn't be bothered. I waved for Secretary Wang to hold her back, and kept walking toward the main staircase on the first floor. Shen Xinyi kept screaming behind me, not knowing when to quit. Even started airing out our whole history in front of everyone. Now everyone in the room knew. The president of the Nan Group had walked away from his family's empire for some Z-list actress, for 5 whole years. Honestly, that story hit just as hard as watching top star Wei Dong bark like a dog in public. I turned and looked at Shen Xinyi, and whatever last bit of sympathy I had for her just disappeared. She was nothing like the person I used to know. I was starting to wonder if the girl who was with me all those years was even the same person standing in front of me now. She kept screaming like she'd lost her mind, airing out everything I'd ever done for her in front of the whole crowd. Right then, Liu Ruowei stepped forward and slapped Shen Xinyi across the face. The crack echoed through the entire venue. Nanyi is my fiancé. He has been for the past 5 years. I don't know what rock you crawled out from under, but if you keep disrespecting my fiancé, I will sue you. Liu Ruowei's sheer dominance silenced everyone in the room, including me. If I still had any doubts about her before, they were gone now, 100%. This was absolutely the same Liu Ruowei who used to beat me into the ground back in the day. Half of Shen Xinyi's face swelled up on the spot, but Liu Ruowei acted like nothing happened. She walked right up to me, looped her arm through mine, and said, "Boy, your taste is terrible. If I hadn't come to clean up your mess, you'd be completely done for today." I smiled and covered her hand with mine. Don't worry, that won't happen again. The media caught every second of it. Tomorrow's headlines were basically writing themselves. Using the Able launch as the moment, I publicly announced that I'd be officially taking over the Nan Group, and that in 3 days, right here at this hotel, I'd be marrying my fiancé Liu Ruowei, ending our 5-year relationship with a wedding. That news hit the entertainment world like a bombshell. Any idol or actress dreaming of marrying into money could officially give up on that fantasy. Liu Ruowei also shared a fictional love story at the launch. Genuinely touching, honestly. But only we knew none of it was real. Not that it mattered, as long as the outcome was good. Huang Wen announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, due to Miss Shen Xinyi's recent conduct, we will be terminating our partnership with her. And our new brand ambassador will be Miss Liu Ruowei." Liu Ruowei walked up to the stage with a smile and addressed the media with total confidence. Meanwhile, Shen Xinyi just crumpled to the floor, eyes completely vacant. While Liu Ruowei was speaking, Able's staff wasted no time. They swapped out every single one of Shen Xinyi's posters for Liu Ruowei's personal photos. Shen Xinyi's torn-down posters were tossed carelessly in a corner of the lobby, which honestly looked a lot like where she stood right now. Worn out and worthless. I figured Shen Xinyi would just let it go after that. But she went online and cried about everything that happened, the way she told it. I was the heartless guy who threw away 5 years of love, just to go through with a family-arranged marriage. Her brainless fans completely forgot how she and Wei Dong were all loved up just days ago, and turned all their hate straight at me. But honestly, that stuff was nothing to me. If anything, all their outrage online just ended up giving the Nan Group a wave of free publicity. Our artists and companies all ended up benefiting from it. Just because I didn't care about this, didn't mean nobody else did. Secretary Wang came to me asking whether I wanted to step in and teach Shen Xinyi a lesson. I shook my head. No. It wasn't that I still had feelings for him. It was that going after Shen Xinyi at a time like this could easily be twisted by the wrong people, and that would hurt the company, even if just a little. What I didn't expect was Secretary Wang never made a move. Liu Ruowei just walked right in and did it herself. First, she went online and roasted those brainless fans. Then she hired a bunch of bots to push what happened at Able's launch event straight to trending. Nothing hits harder than actual video footage. Too bad when Shen Xinyi broke up with me, he cut things off clean. Couldn't even pull out a single photo of us together. So in the court of public opinion, he was completely outgunned. And those fans who used to ride hard for him, they became the sharpest blade, tearing him apart. No surprise, Liu Ruowei walked away with another W. When she strutted into my office like a smug little rooster, I didn't say a word. I just pulled her into a hug. It was only now that I understood what I really wanted, and who I loved most. Liu Ruowei didn't have to do any of this, but she stirred up a massive storm just for me. As the heiress of the Liu Group and the future lady of the Nan Group, she publicly stood up for me online. If I don't fall for a woman like that, I'm straight up an idiot. Liu Ruowei was caught off guard by my sudden move. She froze up the second I pulled her into my arms, but then she just melted, completely relaxed and loving every second of it. Let's get married. Her cheeks flushed pink and she gave me a shy little nod. With both families working together, the wedding went off without a hitch at the hotel. Liu Ruowei is her dad's only daughter, so once we tied the knot, the Liu Group officially announced a merger with the Nan Group. With the combined power of both companies dominating the Asian entertainment industry, not even a question. And after everything I pulled behind the scenes, Liu Ruowei had become the biggest dark horse in the entire industry. Top-tier celebrities were publicly calling her out for collabs, and directors were literally showing up at her door with scripts for her to pick from. At the wedding, I got a red envelope from Shen Xinyi, but I didn't open it. I handed it straight to Liu Ruowei. Sure enough, inside was a threatening letter from Shen Xinyi. It said if I didn't get back together with her, she'd jump off a building. That kind of childish threat, I couldn't be bothered. The wedding wrapped up perfectly, full of joy and celebration. Later, Secretary Wang filled me in on what happened to Shen Xinyi. In the end, he didn't have the guts to go through with it. But now he had nothing. Not a single entertainment company would sign him. On top of that, he owed a massive breach of contract penalty, crushed from every angle. So he turned to shooting adult films. As for Wei Dong, her situation was even worse than Shen Xinyi's. She'd become a plaything in wealthy circles, barely getting a good night's sleep anymore. She was completely hollowed out, nothing but a walking shell. I sat in my office, flipping through the files Secretary Wang brought over, feeling completely at peace. It had been so long. I felt nothing for either of them anymore. Just then, a pair of fair arms quietly wrapped around my shoulders and pulled me close. Then Liu Ruowei's gorgeous face leaned right in. Nan Yi, you trying to rekindle something old? I laughed and tossed the files on the desk. Just watching a little show, that's all. Liu Ruowei draped her arms around my neck and leaned close to my ear. Congratulations. You're gonna be a dad.